Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. You know, there's one motto that I hold close to my chest, and that's to always give credit where credit is due. It's kind of like that meme, heartbreaking, the worst person you know just made a great point. But in all seriousness, despite all my criticisms on this channel, if entities like Crunchyroll or Funimation do something that is good, I'll be the first to acknowledge it because the whole purpose behind criticism should be a hope for progress. And when progress happens, it's important to point it out the same way you would point out their mistakes. And it's no secret, I'm very critical of YouTube, particularly when it comes to their enforcement of the site's rules against their content creators, but I'm also very critical of their inaction when it comes to protecting creators from the predatory behavior of copyright holders who abuse YouTube's fragile copyright system. A recent event that highlights these concerns is the Totally Not Mark versus Toei Animation situation. But finally, today we have a long-awaited update on this complicated story, and it's an outcome that has me actually praising the actions of YouTube, and you'll see why. But first, a bit of background for those who don't know and a refresher for those who do. About a month ago, anime YouTuber Totally Not Mark had over 150 videos on his channel struck down with copyright takedowns suddenly in the span of only hours. Because many of Mark's fair use reviews involved anime series such as One Piece and Dragon Ball that were owned by Toei Animation. And after making public pleas and receiving the support of millions through various large channels covering the ongoing situation, Toei Animation made it very clear how much they cared about respecting Mark and the copyright system of YouTube when they denied almost every appeal he filed. Because in a span of only an hour or two, Toei Animation claims they manually reviewed all of these videos and confirmed they violated copyright rules. Which is amazing because I've never seen anyone review 20-minute long videos in only 1 or 2 minutes. Simply incredible. And that's kind of where the situation was left weeks ago, an understandably defeated Mark shrouded in the deafening silence of YouTube on the situation. Because you see, YouTube is a sort of safe harbor for copyrighted material. A private US company existing in a global market, YouTube has to answer to pretty much nobody domestically, while its stance on copyright exists in perpetual uncertainty everywhere else. The only thing that scares YouTube more than a 2021 rewind is being hauled to court over copyright issues and having a legal precedent set against them. Hence, why they ignore many copyright issues or settle them outside of court. But finally yesterday we have a much needed update on the situation and some gaps filled on what's been happening during the past month or so regarding this controversy. Totally Not Mark uploaded this video and I'll sum it up in the quickest way possible. So apparently weeks after everything had happened to Mark's YouTube channel, YouTube reached out to him and apologized for the delayed response, an inexcusably late response, but what happens from there gives me some faith. First of all, the rep admits that Toei had properly reached out to YouTube privately with their complaints about Mark's video, but never gave a proper explanation as to why they violated copyright when asked by YouTube. Ignoring this request, Toei took matters into their own hands and filed 150 manual copyright complaints against his channel, an action that the YouTube rep claims violated the site's rules on copyright takedowns. And behind the scenes, YouTube reps were working hard to remedy the situation and at one point reaching out to Mark with updates. And to make a very long story short, when it comes to the multi-layered form of communication between Mark's reps and Toei Animation, a consensus was never really reached. And demonstrated by Toei's arbitrary and thoughtless enforcement of YouTube's copyright policies in this process, it was clear Toei was not going to budge. So then YouTube, in an unexpectedly impressive move, decided to play the role of a responsible platform and reach a middle ground. If Toei feels they shouldn't budge because of restrictive Japanese copyright laws, why not respect that set of laws while respecting international laws as well? Accordingly, YouTube came down with an impressively simple and effective solution. If this content offends Japanese law, then it can be blocked from Japanese users. But every other country, unless given a proper justification, will remain an open and monetizable market for this content. And as Mark pointed out, as an English-speaking channel, Japan wasn't even a target audience of his anyways. But in the world of YouTube copyright, this is a really big deal. YouTube never stands up to copyright holders, and their defense of Mark and the solution they came up with might very well be used as a precedent moving forward, one that will certainly aid creators making fair use content involving copyrighted material from anime and manga. So giving credit where credit is due, even though the response was late, YouTube did a good job here. But that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Subscribe for more daily videos, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.